Cool.
Hello there. Welcome back, Niima Outposts. I apologise for the massive hiatus. It's probably been a solid few months, but life happens. And like all good things, it's coming back to the beginning. Um, yeah, for those that have forgotten me, my name's Glenn. This is Rich. And in celebration, I guess, so X-Wing 2.0 has been firing away for many months now. We're just on the pre-release of Wave 4,
Yes.
um, which is due out in the next couple of weeks. I believe it's early next month. It's due to hit the shelves.
Yep.
Our local gaming store changed locations. So Tabletop Warfare is now at 150 Murray Street in Gawler. It's a huge new venue. You should go in and check it out if you're local to South Australia.
It's incredible.
And to celebrate that, the X-Wing crew, we put on an X-Wing game. Now, this is I guess many people would have seen what do they call it, Mario Kart or the pod racing style events. We just made our own, I guess, inspired off that with our own fresh little rules, which is what you're seeing here at the moment. It was pretty fresh grid. We ended up with 8 pilots for the event. There was no doubles, which was pretty good to see.
And a mix of old and new guys. So we had some guys that had just gotten back into 2.0, some guys that have been flying forever. So it was a really nice mix of old and new guys, which was really, really cool.
Yeah. For the format of the game, we restricted some of the rules. There was no advanced, there was no slamming actions allowed, no cloaking devices allowed. And we also restricted the builds. You could only select ships from the quick build slot. It was something like quick builds have interested a lot of us where we play. And none of us had actually played a game with them yet. So it was a good chance to actually flick through and see what the quick builds had to offer.
I think what we kind of liked about the quick build, it was really accessible for everybody. You didn't need, no one could really kind of power creep that way. It was just a case of pick a quick build. I fly majority scum, but I had a Thane alt art card and went, there we go, I'll just fly Thane because it looks cool. Super accessible.
And you'll see here with the grid, so the course was just made up, those little gates, they were just painted old school 40k bases, I believe, and just numbered in order. So the way the course is set up, you have your start grid, which is your finish grid. First gate is gate 1, second through 4th, and then finishing back at the finish line. It was really good having the quick builds come in threat level. So what we used, the people that wanted the super high threat level high cards, we wanted to ensure that they would start at the back of the grid.
Yep.
So very similar to how X-Wing 2.0 works with initiative. The lower the threat level would secure you closer to pole position.
Yep.
So threat level 2's got placed first, which is why we've seen Quinn Jast go down first. Now, Quinn Jast was running the Afterburner and proton torpedoes.
Yes.
Now, for those that don't know, Quinn Jast's ability, essentially you can take a weapons disabled token to regain a charge. So pretty much Quinn Jast with unlimited afterburners was hammering around the table,
which was pretty cool.
Yeah, which was pretty good to see. It's a very valid tactic, as you can see. She's often racing straight out of the gates. Once all the threat level 2 pilots were down, we then went to lowest initiative order of the threat level 3s. There we seen Thane get placed,
my Thane, I think his quick build has stealth device, and that's about it. Seems pretty simple. And obviously Thane's ability, so kind of put him down. I had a bit of a vendetta against Quinn. I was like, we're just going to nail her, because why not? Bit of fun. After that, we had anyone else? Yeah, so Prince Sizor in Star Viper. Chris is, pretty new to 2.0, so I wanted to give those a bit of a whirl, which is cool.
Yeah, and this was an excellent format where there was no, there was no, I guess, serious competition. We're just there to have a laugh and have some pretty casual fun. Once that, it was
Grievous.
Grievous.
Yes.
And Anakin. So once Grievous was down, you could see Grievous took just behind, I think it was Quinn in the pole position. He blasted forward with, I think it was a 5 forward.
Yep.
And then Anakin was placed for the grid. Now, remember, we haven't even actually started the race yet, so our commentary is a little bit behind where the race is.
Yeah.
Once that, I was the only one with the threat level 4 Kylo.
Yep.
And I placed last, which was essentially I just got tail into the grid.
Was Suntir a 4 or 5 threat level? I don't know what threat level.
Suntir was a threat level 3.
Yeah, right.
That's it, Suntir. Couldn't even read my own writing.
Yeah, so good. We also had Sarsi arrive late. You'll probably see that at some point.
So, yeah, unfortunately, one of the blokes held up at work. As we said, life happens. So, yeah, you'll see him placed late at the start gate. One of the, I guess, side rules we had, if you blew up or if you got destroyed, essentially, if you'd passed through a checkpoint, you respawned back at that checkpoint. It's a bit hard to tell on the camera, but the first checkpoint's red, second's yellow, third's green, fourth is blue.
On those checkpoints as well, Glenn had kind of been discussing, do we use obstacles, do we use asteroids? We decided if your ship or template clipped one of those gates, you'd cop an ion token, just because it felt like a really nice kind of time penalty, but your ship wasn't going to blow up from touching one.
Yeah, and it turned out to be that, a little time penalty, which just worked that little bit better than take a hit, take a damage, take a stress.
Yep.
Because a ship like Kylo's stressed is not really that big of a deal because you can still 5 blue out of it, or all your 2s are blue. So
yep. I think the other thing that I was really impressed with was everyone took a very different kind of tactic into the game. I was like, X-Wing, kind of bit slow but tanky, can take some hits. Obviously, Sean's Queen Jas was just boosting everywhere. Everyone had a really different way of flying, which is cool as well.
Yeah, and once the race had commenced, after the threat level had sorted the grid, we just referred back to normal, I guess, initiative or your pilot skill. And then, we did it starting from your pilot skill 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s, and then we just reversed that order in normal X-Wing fashion for shooting. Shooting was still allowed. We also did, not vetoed bombs, but there was no first turn bombs.
Yep.
I was going to say, having been in or seen one of these events before, the starting gate always gets clustered. Doesn't matter how you try and alleviate it, it gets clustered. So
I flew in an event in First Ed, and it was a cloaked quad jumper with Cad Bane just dropping proximity mines, and it was ridiculous. Not proxy, sorry. What are the oldest bomblet generators? Back in First Ed. So I felt like a fairly kind of fair rule that you couldn't launch ordnance or fire torps in that first round. Yeah.
Which we were just about to see Thane blow Quinn off the map.
I think Quinn survives with like one hole from memory. But it was kind of nice having everyone kind of around. So much drawing off happening. Just chat, which was really, really cool.
And we had, as I said, the late arrival's just about to go down on the board. So as I said, one of our gents did arrive late. But yeah, even though just knocking stuff everywhere.
Cheat on stream.
But yeah, so Chris flying the Star Viper, he is very new to X-Wing 2.0, so it was a good event that we could invite casual players so they could just have a shakeout, learn something new, still feel how the flow of the game went. And I think walking away from it was a pretty good feeling that those that were either their first game or first time just got to experience something a little different.
Absolutely. I think the other thing that really stood out for me is while we were talking and kind of playing, there was lots of discussion around, wave 4, wave 5, what's kind of coming out. And those players that are probably quite new to second ed could kind of, I guess, come up to speed with some of those things as well, which was awesome. There we go.
Yes.
There's Sarsi. Sarsi rocks up.
Sarsi is on the table.
We knew Sam would be flying Sarsi in his own unique way, so...
I had him pinned for an A-Wing.
Yes.
An RZ2 A-Wing. He's a very hit-and-run style player, which is always excellent to have games against him because he's very tactical-minded, where I'm just in your face. But everyone has their own different style of flying.
So seeing the Delta kind of come up was cool. Were both the Deltas running the title?
No. So Anakin does not have the title.
Yep.
I know he's got lightning reflexes and...
Supernatural reflexes.
Yeah, supernatural reflexes.
Did he have something else?
Yeah, he did have something else. It's just there, and it probably is the title. But
yeah. It was interesting because he's so used to... Suntir had outmaneuver and a couple of times pinged a few of the deltas, and with the title they go back to from the three green to the 2, and then with outmaneuvers down to 1. It's like, oh wow.
It hurts hard.
So yeah,
I don't think he did have the title because he was only rolling 2 attack dice.
Yeah.
And then adding that control system.
Yep.
With the focus.
Yes, that one.
I actually haven't dived into Republic just yet. I had a bit of a hiatus. As I said, life happens. So I've only just started to get involved pretty deep into the Confederacy of
Independent Systems.
Independent Systems, that's it. So Separatists, and I'm absolutely loving drones. I knew there was a Bulbasaur coming because one of the gentlemen that flew only has the Sys stuff. So he there was no point in having 2 Grievuses flying around because that's just not fun. So I ended up opting for Kylo. I figured it's pretty tanky, lots of green, lots of blue on the dial. So
yeah. And I think I'll just kind of looking at who's playing. A lot of these guys have come. We've just finished a big Mordheim campaign. And a lot of these guys had kind of gone, oh, we used to play X-Wing, we'd like to kind of get back into it. So a lot of these guys are fairly new to it, which is cool.
Or heard the horror stories that a lot of people quit 2.0, which is everyone in their own mindset about it. I think it's a better game for it.
Absolutely. I think having played so much casual now and the odd kind of tournament, it feels a lot better. Recently went to a teams comp in Adelaide, which was awesome. Some of the Adelaide A-Wing guys were there. A few Knights of the Porg Republic. So it was just a kind of Adelaide teams. Everyone left smiling. Everyone left happy.
They had a really good prize pool too.
Yeah, it was cool. The Porg guys did an incredible job with kind of really cool old arts and stuff. So yeah, I think everyone left happy, and that's probably the biggest takeaway I'm finding now. People are just, I mean, yes, you can still play as hard as you want, but it feels a little bit more balanced. It feels a lot more about, kind of player skill as compared to OP combinations that are kind of creeping in. So.
Expertise.
I was like, hang on, what? It's back? No. Cool. So here comes Sassy. Was that a boost straight out the gate with supernatural reflexes?
Yeah, so it's lightning reflexes straight off the bat. So Sassy's already a turn behind, but as you can see, even after missing a full turn,
doesn't really count.
He's 3rd.
And from memory, I think it kind of just quick, super quick.
Yeah.
Did Sunti ever get shot? Like, I can't remember.
I'm not sure. There were a few casualties. As I said, if the way we structured the ruling as well is with the charges system in 2.0, if you spent, say, for example, an afterburners charge and then you got destroyed, your charges remained at their level. So unless they were a recovering charges, it stayed bent. Otherwise, you'd have people that would just be intentionally trying to get blown to recover those charges.
Yeah. I know, again.
I was just going to say, it also restricts anything like bombs if there was any small ships.
Yeah. I do remember, I think I range one-shotted Suntir and just dropped him, so everyone's a winner. Any day where you can one-shot Suntir is a good day, in my opinion. But yeah, no, it was good. I think everyone was pretty cool with the rules as well, like once we kind of explained them all.
Yeah.
I kind of arrived and there were all these different coloured tokens and I'm not the most logical person. I'm like, how is this working? And Glenn's like, yellows have to stay to the left of you, blues to the right, and it was all good.
So having seen a lot of the Mario Kart style races online, racing on a Mario Kart, like a 2D style grid, it didn't make sense to me. So having watched like Resistance and your Red Bull Racing, just gates or checkpoints is the most, I think, fluid. And that way anyone can pick their own line. Like there's nothing worse than being on a 3-ship wide track. You've got 9 ships. Like it's never going to go anywhere. And you're forcing people to do hard 2s. You're forcing people to do hard 3s. With this, if you want to check through, I think through the gates, if you can Talon roll through it to then green or blue out of it, that's just how you want to fly. And I think that's pretty much what X-Wing 2.0 is at the moment. Like, I don't think you can sit back and say that there's a bad list. Like, it's just how you fly it.
So going back to that teams comp in Adelaide, I probably didn't go in with a competitive list at all. I went for just having a bit of fun. So I had 3 mining ties and aim on Ezamine. But there was such a variety of lists there. Obviously there was a selection of Rebel Beef and a few other bits and bobs, but there were some really diverse lists. And I think it's only going to continue diversifying, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and especially now they've got all the factions open, like 7 factions.
I'm super keen for even the Resistance transport we're talking about. Looks really cool.
It's 2 ships.
Yeah, 2 ships. Glenn came in. It's like it's 2 ships. So it's very, very cool. Yeah. So I think this next turn you pull off your Talon roll through the gate. I think.
Yeah. I was trying to do some Drift King stuff.
So yeah,
We've just seen Soontir Fire.
Yeah.
Everyone just pizzled me this turn. Kylo was just the flavour of the range one of everyone. I'd managed to do 2/5 blues, and really gain some momentum.
I think you blank. No, you
Nah,
got
double
natties
evade,
there. Natties everywhere.
Yeah, I did really well. The shot before that, I got hit. I had to spend 2 force from hate to convert focus. But then because I suffered a damage, I ended up getting all my force charge backs anyway.
Hate's so handy for that. It's just like, cool.
Which is another reason why, before even the course was down, I'd settled on Kylo. You're getting free mods from Force. You've got a wicked dial, and you've got a really resilient ship. I absolutely do love the silencers. I think they're just they're a staple for any of my first order lists.
Yep. We talking about a regional somewhere where they're running 2 pleb silencers, and
I think it was on the Gold Squadron podcast.
Yes.
So I can't remember the player's name, but he was running quick draw and 2. What are the plebbies?
Yeah, right.
Test pilots.
Yeah, test pilots.
And he could fly. It was amazing to watch. Possibly, I've saved it because it's one of my favourite. I'm going to link it in the description because it's my favourite bat rep to watch. And it's against a version of Rebel Beef. And it's just an amazing watch. So.
Yep. I guess it's funny, you kind of get these things with calling things Rebel Beef or this, or the other, for newer players to kind of slow down and talk them through what that means. Because some of our guys like, what exactly is Rebel Beef? And Sam was kind of explaining it, and then someone else said something else. And by the end, we've put up a kind of nice understanding of what all this kind of jargon means for these newer players, which is cool.
Yeah.
Makes them feel kind of more involved, I think, as well.
So just before we do dive into explaining the lists and terminology and whatnot, I just want to touch base. So the board's going to look really clean at the moment. And one thing we did, just as a housekeeping rule, every time everyone set their dials, they just set it over their cards. And as well as when people were focusing or taking actions that would give them tokens, we'd leave it on their cards.
Yep.
And this was just to free up the board. Normally with X-Wing, you've got 2 players, so you know whose is whose. But with this particular format, like 8 individual ships, there's going to be 8 focus tokens. Yep. And for logistics ease, I just donated like what I owned to support the game.
Yep.
That way it wasn't mixing lots of other people's tokens and whatnot. So,
yeah.
And thankfully Darren came through and provided the templates.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, which is the acrylics. So you'll see them being used. Quinn Jast is off for another boost.
Another boost. Just, I think she eventually got to eventually got to shoot, eventually.
Yeah, the good old 2-shot primary. Here's Chris coming with a Star Viper. I think he was really intimidated when we first started. You'll see when he opened the gates, he only did a 2 forward.
Yep.
And I think he was just intimidated that everyone was going to shoot Star Viper because most people know they're a pretty intimidating ship, which is huge. From X-Wing 1.8, you used to see a Star Viper and you'd be like, meh, like it's just a Star Viper. Now, it's got to go because they can just dance anywhere, and especially if you've got someone like Guri, just free mod. Anything with free mods is generally worth its weight at the moment.
Yeah.
Because we're still pretty early into 2.0.
Yeah. And I think for guys that have been playing a bit longer, I was really concerned about Soontir, the Deltas, and obviously Kylo. I'm still wrapping my head around Grievous in that Bulbasaur Balulabub thing. I've had a couple of games against them, and they're deceptively tanky for a small little ship.
Having put one on the field, it's possibly my most enjoyable small ship to fly, and that with the Sith Infiltrator. I don't know why I keep forgetting that name. The Sith Infiltrator, it is just a beast of a ship. Back it up with a Bulbasaur and a couple of droids. And I even, like every list that I'd seen played online, I'm trying to follow a lot of bat reps as much as I can. I've seen Dooku, I've seen Maul, I've seen a lot of different. So last few weeks I've been running the D22 droid pilot, and even that, it's still a solid ship to fly. Free action, spend a calculate to do an action when you get targeted. So people either leave you alone or you just get shot, take the lock, and then unload on them in the next turn.
I think first couple of games I was like, you know, I'll throw Bobber up against these droids, and yeah, it's deceptive.
Yeah.
Like it's good. Those energy shells are annoying.
Yeah, I don't
They're not
think
broken.
they're not
but
broken because you've got to do the reloads.
Yep.
And, you've definitely got to earn having the reward from because you've got to fly right. You've got to be in the right position.
Yep, absolutely.
The droids banks suffering. Oh, here's me. I'm trying to drift Kylo, trying to Talon roll through the checkpoint. Sadly, didn't really work out for me.
There you go.
But yeah, so as I said, I'm having a blast with the Cis ships at the moment.
Yep.
Probably going to lean into Republic in the next few weeks. I think just to experience what they fly like. It's one thing with Cis, you know, you'll learn you can't rely on banks, and then you start to learn pretty quickly how much you do use banks when you can't use them.
Yep. And it's been interesting just to see how everyone else is finding them fly. Glenn's kind of said they're totally unique in how they fly, those Cis ships.
It's a very individual feel. I've tried to experience with all the factions, and they've definitely developed a unique feeling with Cis. So well done to the devs for that.
Absolutely. I've tinkered a little bit with the Republic guys. I really like the Deltas. They're just cool. And Arcs are just solid.
Anakin moving up for a bump at the moment. So at the moment we're just about to start the engagement phase of turn 3. We've got Quinn Jast in pole position. She's through the red gate or gate 1. We then have Grievous in the Bulbasaur, second position. Kylo going from last to third. Just 5 straights, baby. It's all about straight lines. And then Sam's Sassy Tin.
Thane's in the mix.
Yeah, and then we got Thane, Soontir, Anakin, Bubble with the Prince at the back, just holding the rear, shooting anyone he wants.
Absolutely. And I think from memory,
so it's Anakin shooting at the moment.
Yeah.
He's unloading into me. So everyone wanted Kylo gone because they knew how quick that ship was.
Blanks.
That's me blanking out, taking 2 hits. And you know, this is what I love still about X-Wing. You can have all these free mods, but blanks are still blanks.
Yeah.
And it's only now that they're starting to be able to spend evades to aid friendly ships. But in an event like this, you can't have that. If you blank out...
So 4 dice into Kylo.
This was Thane, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was me. So Thane. I think it was 3 hits and you blanked out again.
Yep. Yeah, good old my green dice fashion. And I think that was the whole Kylo gone.
Yes.
So once a ship was destroyed, as long as the peg of your ship... Oh, no, I think it was the tip of the base. If the tip of your base had gone through the checkpoint, which is the center line, so where you can see the little... I guess it's easy to see on the red dots. But on gate 1, there's 2 red dots. If you draw a line between those, as long as any part of your base had crossed over that line, you were free to respawn at that gate. You don't get to shoot. You just... Once the engagement phase is over, end phase, respawn your ship, set your dial, and then off you go.
I think we kind of worked out if you couldn't fit your ship into the gate due to clutter, you just put it as close behind as possible.
Yeah, anywhere behind. I mean, you're not there to stuff anyone over. This is Anakin getting shot, so the Prince has just unloaded 4 into him.
2 evades.
So,
and I think those kind of Force users really had it nice with those free mods.
Yeah.
Well, I say free, but those Force kind of mods are really, really handy.
Yeah, anything like Force. When they were talking about Force is going to be brought into X-Wing, I knew it was going to be not a linchpin, but it's powerful. And when you build a list, like the Force users are always 10 to 15 points at a minimum higher than pretty much everyone else.
But it feels fluffy, like it feels like it should be that way in Clone.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got no dramas with it. As a Scum player, I've only got one. I've got a Sarge. I'm happy with that. She's a big tanky girl. I like it. I'm gonna get back to flying her a bit, which is cool. The A-Wing guys have a league starting, just really open, really casual. Kind of encouraging everyone to play against lots of different people. So we'll be bringing out lots and lots of different lists there, which will be cool. And I'm quite keen to kind of fly a Sarge again. I think she's still really good value. Here's Quinn Just kind of working out where she's going to go.
Yeah. So we hadn't really sat down and fleshed out 100% of the rules of the obstacles and mainly those gateway tokens, I guess for lack of a better word. There's me putting Kylo back down.
Which looked magnificent, by the way. Like, we rocked up and Glenn's like, here are my tokens. I'm like, they're fantastic.
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
a spur of the moment thing, and I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
We did have the discussion, as I said, we've already touched on it, but I originally wanted asteroids, but the co-designer of this particular event, Sam, steered me onto a right track, I reckon, and kudos to him. He gets the credit for that because what we ended up with, I think, worked out really well. Yeah, you just got to make sure that everyone's on the same page of what happens when you hit one, whether you can roll through it, action over it, because we were still a little bit grey because I hadn't exactly made a rule set. We're just kind of going into it and cuffing it. But yeah, so we're back to the planning phase.
Absolutely.
So Quinn just, being the lower threat level and pilot skill, got to be placed first. And she took up all the room of the gate, so forcing my Kylo essentially just to be that little bit further behind her.
And it started to get really, really clustered as well, which is cool. Like, it was like, all right, target-rich environment and all that.
Yeah, the bumping. Originally, I was going to take Colby in an X-Wing with Dead Man Switch, just because I reckon that would have been hilarious. If you're respawning, take everyone else with you. But
I think everyone that had rocked up, that had been playing 2-0 for a while, had thought about taking a quad jumper in some kind of... No one did, thankfully. But that would have been hilarious as well. Quad jumper, Dead Man Switch. If there's a quick build with that in it, I'm not sure if there is. There is? No?
There is a quick build. I think it's Unkar.
Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
And as I said, these quick builds came out with all these things that we got, but no one really everyone just throws it in the back of their storage, and you never really see it, which I think is really disappointing because I think quick builds have a pretty solid potential. And especially for those new players, like guys that weren't sure what cards did what. We're getting a lot of questions, hey, how do I build this ship? Like, just quick build it. Just straight up.
And I think with those quick builds, gets you on the table nice and quick, as the name implies, and you kind of just get the feel of it, kind of pick up what works, what doesn't.
And if you haven't looked really closely, sometimes in the quick builds, ships will have upgrades that normally they don't have access to.
Yes.
I think there's a Biggs build that's got selflessness, even though in the normal app he doesn't have an EPT. So it's just small things like that. You end up with this completely different play style of a ship.
Fenrir with afterburners.
Yeah. So, food for thought.
Yep.
I want to see more quick build stuff, but we'll get there.
Another bump for Chris. It's all good.
Yeah. Poor Chris. He said had a cool game, had a fun game. I think he learned more out of the Viper because they are a very particular ship.
Yep. I mean, if you've been flying them for ages, you kind of get the hang of it. But if you're just picking them up, you're just like, what do these things do? I think, particularly with the Virago title, the ability to take that red boost, it's really tempting. But then the dial itself doesn't really lend itself to stress clearing as well as, say, something like a silence or an interceptor. So it's a kind of double-edged sword with that as well. Is this... where do you do your Talon roll? It's brilliant. Wherever it is, it's awesome.
Nah, I bumped. It was last turn. It was last turn I bumped. And that's how I got deleted off the board. I had no tokens. I was almost out of force. Hate was working like a champ, but it just...
And then Sam's like, I'm just going to barrel even wider over here.
CC10, she's barrel rolling out to lean in, and then I think she boosts, which is just... That's like a classic Sam.
Yep.
He's gonna be watching this. He'll be like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, absolutely. It's
I can fly.
You can kind of you whatever gaming group you're with or whichever people you regularly play with, you kind of pick up how they play pretty quick.
Yeah.
Or, okay, it's built over time. So Sammy had a run of games where it was close enough to a draw every time, just because we knew how each other flew.
Yeah. There goes Thane with the barrel roll. I think that was a tactical block.
It was, absolutely. No denial there. I know we're just playing for fun, but I went, if I can block Suntir or Zizor or Anakin or a silencer, I'll be happy. So there we go. Look at that bit of strategic ruler placement there.
Yep.
Just flip the bird. There we go.
Somehow, apart from like 5s and 3s, I think that's all my Kylo did. It just kept the hammer down. A lot of people out there were just there to trade paint and blow things up.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it was a race, and I had my eyes on the finish line from the get go. Wasn't too worried about strategically placing myself for the range one shot. Took it if I got it. But yeah, just get there.
I was talking to someone a couple of days later and said, "Oh, what was it like?" And I don't know if anyone else has played a game called Burnout on console, where you just like hammer your car into walls and other people. I was like, that's how it felt, which was really really cool.
Just get there. So we ended up naming it the Dragon Void Run, which was if those people that have dug in the fluff, was a race that Han Solo did participate in. However, when we were going through the planning phase of this game, we did restrict the base size. Just you can imagine large ships, you can imagine medium ships. That just
it'd be a cluster.
Yeah, that cluster at gate 1 already, and like there are only small ships. So yeah, as far as restrictions go, I'll post a link. I'll post a rules debrief, I guess. In the link under. There's gonna be so much posted in there.
Absolutely. I think though, like everyone's having such a good time. I think next time they're like, we could all wear suits so we could dress up. Like it was cool. Like it felt like really fun.
And
enjoyed it.
And sometimes people will. I don't want to say fatigued, but if you've got a gaming group that's anywhere between 4 to 10 players, it's not massive, and you just want to do something different, like something like this, just to fracture the mold of your day-to-day gaming. We ran one for 1.0, which was like a Hunger Games style, which was just a riot of fun as well. Which all those little things are enjoyable, just to break the monotony of, Dave's bringing this list again. Great Glenn's Flying Silences.
And I think it's kind of good. And for those players who are just getting into it or getting back into it, gives them a really good taste of what other ships can do. There was a lot of afterburners can do that. Like they seem really really valuable, which they are.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think the other thing, as we've kind of alluded to before, the buzz around upcoming waves has been real,
Huge.
which is awesome. Those Geonosian fighters look like a laugh.
Nantex fight. I'm gonna gravitate, and pun intended, I'm gonna tractor to them really hard, because they just look like a riot. Just full jank is all I want.
Absolutely.
But on the board, we just seen Soontir have a crack at Quinn, for one shot. I'm pretty sure Thane just deleted Soontir though.
I did. It was awesome.
And then I've just had another crack at the Bulbasaur with Kylo, because I know how much longevity those tiny little ships have, and especially I believe heavy plating.
Yes.
So both my crits that are sunk in, one was direct hit and the other one was fuel leg, both negated from that title, which is amazing. I think 33 card damage deck and 6 of them ship damages. So that ablative impervium plating needs to be stapled to someone like Grievous.
I think I get deleted pretty soon from memory, actually. I had some family stuff, so I ended up going home. Not that I was a sore loser, I just had to kind of cut and run. But the two natural greens weren't so great in a field of really hard hitting, high agility ships. But as I said, it was a lot of fun, and I had the old art. I kind of figured I'd just use the quick build. So I think the other thing we kind of worked out as we played this is that you kind of need like a chalkboard or a whiteboard to list who's going when, who's doing what. We kind of looked at, I think Glenn had scrawled on like a piece of cardboard or something.
I literally had like a pizza order of just pilots, because just like normally a 2-player game, when you start adding multiple mechanics of 3 or more players, the pecking order can get a little bit confusing, and in my brain, which is not the biggest of brains, I'll admit, having your pilot skill order down and then trying to go not back up it but invert it in pilot skills in chunks, just broke my little brain. So visual aid helped me out.
Absolutely.
And once kind of like we got all past the gate, the whole game just started to run smoothly. Thankfully I had Darren painting out the maneuver templates to kick the clutter clear. I was prompting orders, so once the pilot skill 3 person had gone, I'd be G'ing up. The next player, pilot skill 4, start thinking of your move. If you're gonna, now you know where the PS3 is, think of your boost or your barrel rolls.
And I think everybody else just talked an awful lot of crap. It was awesome. It was really, really good. And
so this game has been sped up to, this is sitting at 175% at the moment. But naturally, I think for 8 people on a 3x3 board, I think it was just over 2 hours. Or just over 2.5 hours, which isn't too bad at all. And then I think I had a reset, so I've already just been destroyed once. So I'm back at full shields, full health.
Yep.
Quinn just got reset, and Soontir, I believe, has also just got reset. So
I was going to ask you, having now done this, having looked at the rules, do you think you'd ever put in a penalty for being destroyed multiple times, or would you just leave it as is? Like, reflecting on it, is there any like big changes you'd want to make, or are you happy with it?
I think next time if you respawn with holding the orientation of the gate. And that way it just stops people, like, for example, what I did was I was able to do that 5 straight over you because I could set up a better starting position.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or starting with an ion token. But again, I wouldn't like that's a huge handicap.
That's massive.
Because you may as well just spawn on the gate then.
Yeah.
But I think lining up orientated to the gates. So again, draw an invisible line between those two dots.
I love that. Darren's just like, give me the template, give it here.
Yeah.
It was good because I always have the best intentions. My templates always start beautiful and organized, and by like turn 3, they're just all over the board. So having someone like Darren, but put it back.
Where's my one bank?
That's awesome. I don't know. Oh, look, it's under a bomb token or under this card. I think Sean deliberately barrel rolls onto a gate thinking he could. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
And as I said, we allowed it because we weren't really too sure how the game was going to flow. But yeah, once we finished, we did like a little a review of the game, just like what would you fix, what would you change, and the deciding factor was they will count as obstacles.
Yep.
So if you shoot through them, that's obstructed.
Yep.
You can't barrel roll or boost onto them. And if you do touch one with your maneuver template or base, you receive an ion token, which does, I think, inevitably happen because it's Rubbin's racing, and that's just the nature of the beast.
Yeah. Would you consider having like third-party little laser turrets or something floating around, or are you just happy with how simple it is with that simplicity of racing?
I think keeping a race is a race.
Yep.
I think that's fine.
I agree.
I really like how it played out. I wanted an obstacle field with some debris and some asteroids, but as I said, the good old code came of this scenario, kind of reeled me in on that, and I think it was a better decision. I think less is more when doing this race and this style of event.
Yep.
And it just worked. Everyone could just concentrate on the gates, which was a feat in itself.
Yes.
By the time you're trying to navigate your way around 7 other ships.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, then we can see the Bulbasaur. So Grievous is now.
Look at it go.
Yeah, he's just checked through the yellow gate. I think he just missed that gate too.
Yeah. We had quite a few rubberneckers up. People just kind of come and have a look as well, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, we had as I said, Tabletop Warfare's moved into a new store now, which is huge. And we did have, this was done on a Thursday night, so we still had quite a lot of walkthrough traffic. So it is the other reason why we've dubbed the sound of the actual game. It's because there was so much drawing off going off, and 2, just that background noise. It's still another gaming store. They've got TCG games going on, a lot of other stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, so here we can see the Viper just do a 3-bank around.
Yep.
It was hard I think, ideally he would have wanted a Viper barrel roll here.
Yes.
But yeah, everyone's trying to swing back into that gate too while avoiding the cluster
Absolutely.
And you can even see Darren Anakin, his last turn, he took a really wide line.
Yep.
Whether that was his tactic or not.
Not.
Sometimes having the Pilot Skill 6 Ace X-Wing 2.0, yeah, that's fantastic. In a race, you're last. Everyone's already in the way.
Yep.
Here goes Sam with his
shenanigans.
Supernatural reflexes boost. Oh no, just did a 1 forward and a focus.
Yeah, we've called it wrong. Sorry. Yeah. So I think there we go. I was like, this is not going to fit.
Yep, the classic Thane bump with Riches flying.
Absolutely. It's like that'll fit. That won't fit.
So this was the filmed this game on my phone, which was a Galaxy S8, and it does it because it was in a pretty high quality. It did it in essentially 22-minute packets.
Yep.
So when you see the screen snap, it's not Thanos. It's just my just where the phone's gone over.
I appreciate the reference, man. That was cool.
Yeah, I know. And I just want to point out, I've flown between Gate 1 and Gate 2, and I haven't actually turned.
Yeah.
I did a 5 forward barrel roll left, 2 forward barrel rolled left, and now
silences, man.
So just flip it.
Yeah, right. So hot tip for everyone playing at home:
just do a flip.
Yep, do a barrel.
just do a flip.
I think we had a couple of people walk past who saw it was Anakin and just yelled, "Try spinning."
Yeah.
A few now that's pod racing comments. Like it was beautiful. We were pretty militant too. We had a couple of people try and put food and drinks on the table, and we're just like, take it away.
Yeah.
Just because with this many people, this many elbows, feet, legs, hands.
Especially when you got one person controlling 10 plates and you're not controlling your ship, and it's just easier to try and keep
it clean.
Yeah, keep it clean, and like I hate food and that around games and that anyway. But personal preference.
Yep, absolutely. I think no. Normally, people blame their dice. There wasn't too much of that. We're just in a big shared dice pool.
Yep. Yeah, I fractured all my dice. So here you can see Soontir now. I think he's shooting into me. Oh no, he was shooting into
me. No, but
it
me.
It was
Sassy.
Yeah. Was it Sassy? Yeah, it was range 1.
Yep. Because Sam was like, oh.
that good old 1 green dice off an outmaneuvered Soontir.
Yep. And in this kind of racing, Soontir is great because that bullseye arc is always going to hit something.
Yeah. Darren's Anakin sadly isn't rocking the title and has a weapons malfunction, which is hence why he's only rolling 1 attack dice. And now Thane's like, "Here, mate, I'll fix that crit for you. I'll just remove you from the board."
I don't think I do though. I think I just 2 hits.
Yeah.
And I think blanks. There we go. So goodbye, Anakin. There you go, son. Get out
again,
of here.
Pulls the damage up, reshuffles, puts him on the back of the deck, reshuffles the deck.
And then
we just had a communal damage deck. That way it was keeping it clean. Me again, sending 3 into Grievous. So Grievous, who, mind you...
Was that Natties?
Yeah, Natties. But not only was he rolling pretty good, he had re-rolls because I wasn't in his arc.
Yeah.
And then even if you sync crits through, he's got the Impervium plating. Like the Solus 1 title, it was just, it really did work for him.
It's a crazy hard nut to crack. And you're like, great, it's got a couple of health left. And then it just keeps going.
Still, like you can see all the damage cards in the top left, like they're on Grievous. And he's like, yeah, I've still got 2 hull left. And you're just, what's going on?
Absolutely.
Here's me copping a shot from CC10. Once Sam rolls.
Come on, Sam. Hurry it up, son. You're already 175 times faster than you normally are. So you're on slow. There we go.
Single hit. Good old Cost Natties. Good old Kylo.
And I think a couple of the newer guys were kind of commenting on how differently, so for example, the Silencers fly, the Vipers fly. So ships with those kind of inbuilt, so your Deltas with their fine-tune controls, Soontir with his auto thrusters, all those kind of 2.0 things that have just, I guess, hardwired those abilities into ships. For those new players, like, okay, now we get to see how they work.
Just sidely as well, that was the Virago title being used, which is a handy little trick when it comes race day. So yeah, food for thought if you're going to run an event like this. Now we're back in the end phase, so Darren's placing his ship back down.
It's interesting. I've flown a lot of Star Vipers, and I would be really keen to try a Star Viper in this just because I know how they fly.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see. So yes, I think I pack it up and leave at some point. I think I die, and then...
Yeah, well, I think we're just past the halfway mark.
Yep.
Which game time was just over an hour.
Yep.
Originally, I only had a 60-minute time limit for the event.
Yep.
But we kind of hit the 60 minutes. Everyone was in the mix of it, and everyone's like, let's just keep going.
Absolutely.
Like it was so much fun. No one wanted their regular games, which was pretty good. When everyone wants more, that you've done something right.
Absolutely.
So.
And I mean, I could see this being run as a side event. If you have like a big event, over 2 days, you could run one of these quite happily in little pods.
Yeah, exactly.
Really well entertained.
Yeah, I definitely think the gates, and we were talking about this earlier, the gate system is definitely a better system than a track. Yeah.
Just a lot more freedom to fly how you want to fly.
Yeah, as cool as Mario Kart is.
And I think having grown up watching a lot of Red Bull air racing, where you if your planes clipped a pylon, there was like a 10-second penalty. That in ion tokens works really, really well.
Yeah, it was a really nice balance.
I don't know. I guess you could open up to big, medium, and big base ships if you had a bigger kind of course. I'm not entirely sure how that would work.
Yep.
But it could be a bit of fun. Down the
Yeah.
track.
Well, I tossed up. So this was Chris just not really understanding where or how the barrel roll for the title works. So once we're like, oh, you're going to be facing the wrong way. It was like, oh, I've done it. And in a friendly spirit, he was just like, oh, well, that's one way to learn.
Absolutely.
Which, kudos to him. He was happy to cop it on the chin. We told him he could go back and change his maneuver if he wanted, because it wouldn't really affect the game state too much. Right. But he was happy just to learn.
Being the top bloke that he is, he was happy to kind of keep running with it. I was going to ask you, would you ever consider opening this up to just free builds, so saying X amount of points?
Yeah. There's definitely scope to do that, and I'd probably be interested to see that next time, because it's going to open a lot more of the ships.
Yep.
Like I know a lot of people. I was expecting to see a lot of Sabines, just because she gets that free boost of barrel roll. It was tempting, but yeah.
I think in first ed, when people would run these, they'd ban Sabine.
Yeah.
Because I rocked up with Sabine, like, oh, that's banned. I was like, it's all I brought. So, and they were super lovely enough to let me keep flying. But we were talking about quick draw as well.
Yeah, I think quick draw will be a bit of a powerhouse.
Yep.
Not so much. I mean, speed. Yeah, it's got the speed, but just that double tap, losing the shields, and then it's one of the only ships that, even though you've spent your charge, like when because it resets every turn. When you respawn, by the ruling, technically it would reset. Yep. So bit of a grey area.
Yep. So you're back with full shields and the ability to keep double tapping. I mean, it'd be interesting to see, even give it a run and see if it is as again. I think I do make this.
Maybe. I think you do. Just.
I like a ball one.
Yeah, there's still bulk time before you patch out.
Yeah, sweet, awesome.
Here's me. But yeah, we I said Thane's coming around, so Grievous is gone.
It's deceptively quick. It's just off it goes.
Yeah, for a small ship with more hull than the silencer.
Yeah.
Thankfully the silencer's got more green, but I catch him pretty quickly.
Does he eventually blow up again?
We'll have to
find out. Spoiler alert! My goodness. So I actually expected a few more resistant ships. I swear Sam was going to take an IZ2.
Yeah,
he loves them.
I had my money because just an A-wing firing backwards, the hilarity, like being in pole position and still shooting. What's not to love about
Absolutely.
that? I think most of the good aces of the RZ2s get a pretty big handicap to get the benefits. So I think what he ran in the end, I think was the best. Yeah, it was a very Sam choice. I know
absolutely very Sam.
No one watching knows him, but
once again, going back to kind of knowing everyone within your kind of gaming circle, everyone has their own preferences, their own way of flying, and I think that's the beauty of the game as well. So
I was Soontir into Kylo trying to get me to respawn back at the yellow gate, but with only one hit, I
shrugged it off.
Yeah, Soontir bumped and still didn't manage to get anyone in his bullseye.
Yep.
Oh no, I think he might. Yeah, he clipped you in his bullseye, but yeah, just blanked out.
Yep.
That was Darren.
I know that was Soontir takes 2 damage. Lovely. Yep. Always a good day. And things like stealth device. I think once you died, they didn't respawn either, which was cool.
Yeah.
Because it was a nice little buff. So Thane, his quick build card has a stealth device. I dropped it. It was lost within the first turn. But you know.
So there's Grievous with his reroll, but thankfully still blanked out. And Kylo takes pole.
Slight bias, but that's all right.
Yeah, I just created the race, whatever.
Absolutely. It's funny though. The commentary throughout kind of the game was just that it was just fun. Like no one was grapping. I mean, I kind of went after Quinn just a bit hard, only because I know Sean pretty well. But no one was taking it too seriously.
No, and like even if you died, that's just it. You're only moving back couple of centimeters. Like it wasn't too huge.
Wasn't too huge. And I think the other thing we were finding is ships that could potentially, so the fine tune controls and the auto thrusters in such tight confines, they usually only get a boost or a barrel off it. That I didn't see a lot of people.
It was either an excellent ability to catch up, or you needed to be out front
to use it.
So if you look where Kylo is at the moment, I'm in an excellent position for my next maneuver.
Yep.
And then full throttle or whatever the silencer special rule is off that.
Yep.
So now everyone's finished shooting. I think the only person that was deleted was Grievous.
Yep.
And then, sorry, you was just mentioning, so a piece of his base has gone through that imaginary line.
Yep.
So,
and I think going back to what I was saying, if you did have to align with the gate facing, it'd change your dials quite drastically.
Yeah, you'd have to be doing your hard turns,
which would be cool.
But there was also a lot of strategy going on, like where people were sitting in the gate. Like there was a lot of intentional blocks and intentional bumps, which that's just racing.
Yep. I think heading into here, I was looking at going like I don't think I'm going to be able to nail a hard 2 or 3 through that gate. So I kind of lock in a 4K turn because it's like at least I think I had a couple of hole left. I'm just going to shoot someone, and see what happens.
And that's all you can do. Like, so Quinn just trying to block the gate because by the ruling, if she gets her nose through, he or she.
I'm gonna go she.
Yeah, I'm gonna go she.
I have a feeling a lot of those sick pilots are all ladies.
So by the ruling now, she's cleared the yellow gate. So if she blows up, she can respawn anywhere in that gate.
Yep.
But it's essentially just set up a denial area.
It's amazing. And I was going, cool. I'm really glad I didn't kind of lock in that hard 3.
So here we go, the Viper moving in, but again, just everyone cramming through that second gate. There was only 2 or 3 ships that managed to actually get a breakaway, and I think I managed to peel them out, just bit by bit.
The old happy snap there.
Yeah.
That's cool. So we got.
So now that Chris moved, we're down to Lachlan. So he was trying to get the bump on me. So the huge 5 forward. And then I think he will boost.
He hasn't been playing that long, but he actually flies really, really well.
Yeah. He's as I said, he's one of our newer players. He's picked up the Separatist, and he's absolutely loving it. So, and you got to fly with what you got.
Yep.
So he's doing really well. Here comes Stacey with a
supernatural reflexes,
supernatural barrel roll. And then the inevitable lean in.
The patented Sam lean in. Here we go.
As I said, if you've, hopefully I can get Sam on some bat reps. But he's a very hit and run player.
Yep.
I know he loves his tactics of feinting and.
There we go. Lean in. Beautiful.
There it is. Setting up for that big 5 forward next turn.
I expected a few people to fly some of the T70s as well.
Yeah.
I expected Darren to fly T70s.
Yeah. I think he wanted Poe, but then when we said no slams, he was like, oh.
Because that would just be broken.
Yeah.
For that. Yeah.
Just line up the end gate 5-5. Yeah, so slams straight up and cloaking. Like, just to decloak, it's essentially a free move.
Yeah. So there's Thane's K-turn. Here's your Sleepy 3.
Yeah, so
look at that.
I just missed Grievous and I just missed the gate. And I knew I was going to get every round that was coming at me. So I barrel rolled to clean the gate. And I just centered it on the peg. And then, so I threw in a cheeky boost just for range. And, just because I could.
And I think that's where the silencer, just all those blues.
Yeah, it's you're macking down the board and it's all blue. Like 5s, 2s, hards, banks, blue. Yep. And then that supported with force, all day. Yep. All day. Even if you're bumped, still got mods.
Here comes Suntier.
Yeah, Suntier hooking in.
Now I think, Suntier and me just go, all right, bring it on, buddy.
Yeah.
Thane kind of,
getting ready for the joust. Poor old Suit's only on one hull.
And I was like, cool. I think I've only got a few hull left as well, so I barrels. There you go.
Yeah, Nicholas who's flying Suntier is one of, I think he played up to wave 3 of First Ed and then, hadn't played since. So he was keen to see what 2.0 had to offer.
It's a nice format, and he's an old school Imperial player, so Suntier really appealed to him. And I don't think Suntier has changed that drastically. Like obviously the Bull's Arc is now fantastic. Those auto thrusters kind of built in are great, but they're still as maneuverable as ever. And outmaneuver was cool on him, just seeing him line people up. And,
just baby wedge.
Yep.
And especially if you're not in pole, you're triggering your outmaneuver. So nifty little trick.
However, we were kind of saying those ships that can do your ones forward and those soft kind of ones, at some point your interceptor has to overshoot. Like it can't.
Yeah, exactly
it has
right.
to overshoot. And just that's how it works, and I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah, and so here we see Soontir pretty much just into Thane's face.
Yep.
I know you've lost all your shields.
I've lost all my shields. Yes, I thought I might have taken damage elsewhere. I may not have.
Yeah, I think you had it earlier.
I haven't been paying attention.
Drawing off.
4 dice.
It's fine.
Blank. No, 1 evade.
1.
No, blank. That was a focus. So goodbye, sweet Thane.
Yeah, and sadly, this is as I said, life happens.
Absolutely.
Rich pretty much just pulled the pin there.
And no one was kind of grumpy about it. They're like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's how life goes.
Yeah, that's it. And I think in our local gaming group, that's probably one of the better things that there's the understanding fact that
Most of us have families.
Yeah,
which is cool. And family comes first.
Exactly.
So
then we just seen. Was that shooting? Oh, I just got all the stack of cards off Lachlan.
Yep.
Sorry if you can hear the chipmunk sound in the background. It's just because I've sped it up at 175%. We've got Alvin, Simon, and Theodore just macking away at the back. But yeah, so at the moment I can see a Soontir on one hull. Anakin's down to. Oh, Anakin's full.
Stacey was pretty banged up, I think.
I know the Viper's still untouched.
Yep.
That is Stacey there, range 1 into Anakin. So 3.
Oh, no, blanks.
Yeah, blanks. 1 shield. It was only the 1 hit. That's all. It just takes 1. That's all it is.
And I think the chip damage was really cool because you kind of see who cops damage and then go, okay, who am I going to shoot?
Yeah, massively change your target priority.
Yep.
And also, how far are they in the gate?
Yep.
If someone's in the gate, there's no point shooting them.
And there's Sam, 4 reds, one hit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's classic Sam.
I don't.
Look at these dice.
Why do they betray me?
It's just the X-Wing. That's the X-Wing problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, did Sean ever get his protons off?
No. I don't think he picked up the lock to get the protons off.
Right.
I think the only one to actually launch any ordnance was you in like turn 1.
Yeah. No, I just locked him and I just fired. Had my wings close. Just fired 2 red dice into him. I don't think the quick build came with anything.
Yeah, but
I'd outmaneuver. That's what else Thane has on his quick build: outmaneuver and a stealth device.
Yep. Yeah. So as I said, there's some real funky builds. Some things you normally wouldn't pair with a ship. And I think an event like this is amazing to just to try things new. But yeah, if anyone has any better, or if anyone has any improvements or some better feeds next time, when I get a little bit more time, I'll have the dice box set up.
Yep.
This was a little bit crash action. Yep. As I said, the new store, we're in the new area. I've got new equipment. Niima Outposts gear is it's in the shed, but yeah, it's not as portable as I'd like it to be.
Oh, it's good though. Just get some stuff on film.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's not a standard bat rep either, which is always refreshing.
Exactly right. But hopefully this will mark the return of some content for Niima Outpost.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we can facilitate getting some more bat reps. I know there's some other channels on there that are smashing content, and kudos to them. But as I said, just life's got priorities.
Absolutely.
And when you've got little people that need to eat and breathe and stuff. Sadly, games come second.
I know. That's the other thing. I was talking to a few people a couple of days after, and they were kind of saying if you're still learning the game, so some of our newer guys, it's a really nice way to start getting your head around what a 3 hard looks like, what a 2 hard looks like, just because you don't always that comes with time, but this is a really nice. Is that an ion? Has he clipped it?
Yeah, he's clipped it. So the Viper just clipped it. If Quinn wasn't there, he wouldn't have. But
here we go.
There's me throwing the ion, and you take the ion.
Take the ion.
Which is, I think, you can shoot anyone. You don't have to be through a gate to light someone up. So Kylo's about to get broadsided. Here comes Grievous flying through the gate.
So you hooking a hard 2 or a hard 1?
I was stressed. So I did a hard 2.
Is that a blue for you?
Yep.
Of course it is.
So the
Of course
blues,
it is.
2s are blues, and all the straights are blues.
It's ridiculous.
So Grievous takes the lock.
Yep.
And
It's probably not a bad move for him. Like he may not get lit up by a whole lot of stuff this turn. Grab the lock for later.
yeah, and it's like
if you can catch us.
and it's inevitable. Like, I don't know if anyone else has this problem in X-Wing, but whenever I focus, I get blanks. Whenever I lock, I get focus results. Like that's just 100% either way. Here goes Stacey all the way through, and then she will spend a force to boost.
There we go. There we go.
And those little markers that come with the core game, brilliant. Thank you, FFG. Well done.
Just a quick check.
No, Darren was me because he's like, "Oh, how wide's the gate?" And you know what? I don't know. I just put the tokens down.
Yeah.
So the 2 came in, gave me heaps of room. I thought it was going to be a lot closer to the board edge, but bulk room. And then
look at that.
Good old Kylo fashion, boost and barrel roll.
Would you unify or uniform how far apart, like in future games?
I think next time, yeah. So I think I'll do a range and a half. So like,
cool.
It's like 2.5.
Yep.
Just things you learn. I think that distance they were at the moment was just a fraction too small.
Yep.
You'd get, or at least 3 ship widths.
Yep.
That way, if you're going to blow up, if they have to respawn, you can fit 3 ships.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that we didn't have anyone, or any more than 1 or 2 ships blow up at one time.
Yeah.
But I think it would just help flow the board a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I think next time as well, I'll go to 2 3x3 mats.
Yep.
But use like 4 feet. So just use the central 4 feet and having a bit of admin room at either end.
Yeah. We were really lucky with 8 players on the board. We still had enough room for cards. And
it's
quite comfortable. No one was squishing too hard. But I think 2 maps could work quite nicely.
Yeah, and I think that's just something. Make sure if you're going to run an event like this, make sure you've got 1 table room and 2 standing room.
Yep.
We did end up having, or before we started, we just pretty much, if you weren't playing, you weren't at the board edge.
Yep.
Just to help the people that were invested in the game be there and see what was going on. Despite the fact that we were drawing off and just having a casual game about it. But
I think the other thing that could, like, if medium ships were in there, that bigger board would certainly help as well. I think Bob would clean house. Just saying. Those fire sprays are so quick.
Rubbin's racing.
Absolutely. Nick with Suntier. So what? Another 5 forward for you, and you're.
Kylo's.
You look like you're home and free.
Damage wise, I was sitting at. I think from the respawn, I'd only lost a shield or 2.
Yep.
Again, apologies that it's not on the screen. It's like impossible to track 4 different factions and 8 different ships.
Yep. People leaving. People early,
so it is what it is.
Yep.
I'm just glad to be able to put something up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're Kylo's tracking really well. I know I've got all my hull left at least.
Yep.
Here comes
Suntier? No, Anakin from downtown.
Yeah, Anakin. He was trying. I think it was a no shot though.
Oh, denied.
But yeah, so Anakin just chipping away, and that's all you do. Most of them are just shots of opportunity.
Yep.
We floated the idea that you could only shoot ships you had locked, just to try and even further focus it onto being a race. But we just ended up, Sacine just blanking out on
again.
Yep. Oh, that was Chris. Sorry.
I think if you just focus the locks, though, you would end up with no one would fly Suntier because you just never lock.
Sorry, before that was.
Was that in arc or out? Was out.
Yeah, that was in.
Yep.
He's having a crack at Grievous, and Grievous with his reroll.
That reroll's awesome. So good. It's like, flank me, I don't care.
Yep, loses, and he's through the gate anyway, so even if you blew up, he could just stay there. Again, shots of opportunity.
Yep.
I'm
surprised how well Stacey's flown from a late start.
Yeah.
Wow, I feel like a racing commentator.
And if you take in, like, it's all about the line you pick. It's not necessarily being the fastest ship.
Yep.
You get people in front of you where you blow up and get sent back to a gate.
Yep.
It's going to handicap you. There's ships even on here that haven't blown up.
Yep.
And I'm still in front. Ooh.
I think that's probably where quaddies would fall down. the dial is not great.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you could fly backwards around the course, but
and tractor everyone to miss the gate.
Yep.
We did have that rule. You had the gate was orientated, so you had to keep the yellow on your left.
Yep.
So you couldn't
reverse.
You reverse through it. You couldn't turn around it or fly back through the other way. You couldn't spawn on the other side.
I think a few smart asses were like, if I do a K turn, it's like, you can, but
yeah, you'd uncheck the gate when you go.
Yeah. So yes.
But yeah, we're just finishing off the dial phase, I believe. Everyone's putting dials back down. As you see, as the board's starting to string out, we're losing. It's getting quicker and quicker because there's less shots. We're obviously a player down there already, but a couple of people bumped, a couple of people out of arc. I don't get a shot. Anakin doesn't get a shot. Grievous doesn't get a shot. So yeah, it was. I definitely had eyes on the prize.
Yep.
Next.
No. I was going to ask, as people are kind of moving, have you got a particular ship you're really excited for with new wave coming out?
So the droid bombers and the Republic Y-wings, and the Resistance.
So all of it then,
all the new stuff. Like I'm just really keen to see not only the direction where 2.0 goes, because there's some really funky stuff that's coming out, but just the variety. Like I've still got the feeling that it's not the game that it used to be. Like you can rock up with two very similar lists, and depending on with what they're upgraded, they'll fly very differently.
I mean, there's been a lot said about fuses and the electron proton bomb. That I think in time,
massive bubble.
When we learn about points costs and things like that, that'll probably decide how that goes. There's been a little trepidation. People are like, oh, it's going to break the game, but we'll see.
And I think the points is going to hinge a lot, and it's a unique item, so there's only going to be one. And I think a lot of people, the sky's falling. I don't think it's fallen just yet. Obviously 1.0 when the Harpoon's released, we watched the sky fall.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm yet to see something that is legit, like, broken. Again, admittedly, I haven't flown against 4 Phantoms. That's the flavour of the month at the moment, until the Nerf hammer gets swinging.
But I think being able to swing points either up or down electronically is huge. And they can look at that and, if, for example, those bomb fuses prove to be too ridiculous, they can always throw the points up for them. And
exactly.
I think that's awesome.
And I think that's where, yes, the app is not the greatest, but with extra supporting apps like the Yaspi and Launchbane Next, the support's there that you can work around it.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's not the end of the world.
Well, Anakin's like really far behind, hey.
Yeah. He just poor Darren. He just kept getting. I don't think he was looking outside the lines. Like he'd be like, I want to go here, and then everyone would move into that same line.
Yep.
And I think poor Anakin just really hurt.
Yep.
Where he wanted to go.
It's funny because you got Anakin at Initiative 6 and Sarsi at 4.
Yeah.
And Sarsi's just booting around.
I think that was a better because she could clear the storm.
Yep.
Like before the 4s, the 5s would get in the way.
And I was saying to Sam as well, if she really got stuck, she could use her ability to then kind of change that dial anyway.
Yeah.
Never had to. But it was always there.
And he goes soon here with a barrel roll boost. But yeah, now sadly, because I was saying when we started this film, I did record this with my phone. Now, like a champ, phones have limited memory. So yeah, I did actually not record the full thing.
Oh, no.
Which is pretty sad. Because it was a great event. It finished off pretty much as you can tell. Kylo's made a pretty good break, but it was an unbelievably close race between second and third.
Yeah. So Kylo does a sweeping 3 to clear the stress.
2s. So 2s are blue.
Sleepy 2, and then boost.
It was a 2 boost. And then next turn was a 5 forward. Barrel roll boost. Pretty much Grievous was a 5 forward and a boost, and he was in the blue gate, or just about to get in the blue gate. And then Sam did a supernatural reflexes boost and a 5. And then a barrel roll. So the race between second and third was far more intense.
Yeah.
Because sadly, after I popped Grievous, I just had that massive break.
Yep.
And when the gates are clear, you can fly through them so easily.
Absolutely.
But yeah, there was some shots there. That was Darren, and that is where, sadly, the phone decided to no longer record. And to get the whole thing in view, the camera was 6.5 feet off the ground, so I didn't actually even know it stopped recording. So yeah, I do apologise for that. Niima Outpost, we're back. It's no longer 45 million degrees in the shed. I think we hit 47, which meant the garage went like 58 in there. It was just insane.
PCs weren't working.
But X-Wing's back. 2.0's really good. We're still all loving it.
Yep.
If you did like this race event, we're looking like our X-Wing Club. We're looking at running an event like that more. If you just want those uploaded, just hit us a like, hit us a comment, and we will we'll get them recorded and uploaded. Hopefully next time with the dice box and
all the good stuff.
Yeah, some better stuff. So
too easy.
Thanks for watching. Again, sorry I didn't get the whole match, and sorry it's been absence, but move on to bigger and better things, and we will see you in the next post.
Take it easy.